Lichtenberg. You can tell me what it means. I think it means light on the mountain. Is that right? Yes? I'm light on the mountain. I'm a big skier. So it's an appropriate name. So what I'd like to do, my role at InterSystems, I've been with the company for about 3 years, and I'm responsible for, first of all, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, thank you. So I'm responsible for product marketing and industry marketing for the data platform products. So pretty much everything outside of the healthcare space is within my purview. So what I'd like to do is take a couple of minutes and talk to you about the different applications of the technology that we're seeing around the world from our various customers and partners in a whole range of different industries. So if that is of interest and that makes sense, grab your cocktail, grab your German beer, your champagne, and hook it and hold on. So I don't know if everybody has seen this slide before or not, but I love this slide. I call this the layer cake slide. It's a nice, concise representation of the functionality in InterSystems Iris data platform. And even though InterSystems Iris is a new product, we launched it, we're very excited that we launched it in January of this year. It really is the culmination of many, many years of innovation and working with customers to meet their needs in database management, a lot in integration and interoperability, as well as analytics, meeting their needs as well as their needs for the future and where they want to go. A very large part has driven our product roadmap. And if those of you have not yet met Jeff Freed, Jeff is here as well. He runs product management for our data platform group. So in terms of features that are on the roadmap, as well as if you have a wish list of things that you need to see in the product, you can talk to all of us, but especially to Jeff Freed. He's the guy. So at the core of everything that we do is integration. And for those of you that saw Danielle Hernandez from IDC talk about digital transformation, right? The place that organizations tend to get stuck on their journey to digital transformation is around integration. They have data silos, they have application silos, they even have these islands of innovation. But getting a complete view, a transparent view into all of the applications and operational processes and data inside the firewall, as well as with business partners in the DMZ and outside the firewall, is still largely an unsolved problem. And on the path to digital transformation, right, it's key that we get that foundation, that key foundational step built properly. So very strong capabilities in interoperability and integration. At the core of everything that we do is a very sophisticated database. So it's built on top of Cache plus. So multi-model is about being able to work with any type of data from any data sources in any format. And multi-workload is being able to not only process transactions, but to be able to get analytics and dashboards and be able to make decisions and control the workflow in real time. All right, so that's what we mean by multi-workload. So where's our sweet spot? We do a lot with InterSystems Iris. So, you know, if you want to think about where to focus, it's around working with very large data sets, being able to work with data, streaming it in real time, as well as with non-real-time data, being able to apply advanced analytics and AI and business intelligence. You break it, you buy it. Not only in batch mode, but as an integral part of business processes, right? So to apply intelligence and AI and machine learning as part of business processes. So if you think about for example, IoT and the signals coming in real time, I not only want to be able to detect when a signal is out of range, but I want to be able to run machine learning algorithms and predictive analytics in real time against the large sets of batch data to understand higher risk of failures or where I need to service something in advance and so on. We see it a lot in financial services as well for compliance and concentration rules and fraud prevention and so on. Interoperability for sure is key. And more and more of our customers and partners, their business model is based on the cloud to be able to provide applications as a service based on our platform. So I'm curious, right? I mean, we have, not just in healthcare, but outside of healthcare, a very rich set of different kinds of applications and implementations that make use of our underlying technology. So the way these slides are set up, if there was a way to actually click on these, it would go to a whole bunch of use cases. But I figured out how to turn them into hyperlinks, but I haven't figured out how to do it with a second screen. So I can't advance to it. Can you guys hear me okay? Or did I feel like I'm still projecting, okay, too loud. So are there anybody here from any of these industries that have an interest in what customers are doing in different industries? Logistics, financial services, government, retail, logistics. So here's one example. There's a company called Levantia. They're the 5th largest shipbuilder in all of Europe. They're based in Spain. They build these massive ships. Ships cost over $1 billion. And at the core, the brains, the control center of the ship, they use InterSystems technology. So what was the driver to use our technology? It was that they wanted to use technology as a competitive differentiator. Most of these ships that they had built in the past and that their competitors use off-the-shelf SCADA systems for control systems. So if you're not familiar, SCADA, it's a supervisory control and data acquisition platform or system. But they wanted to differentiate and do a lot more, so they built their own. They used our technology to do it. And a big part of the reason that they used our technology to do it, they looked at a variety of different products and offerings and vendors, was the ability to incorporate real-time streaming data, IoT device data from all of the signals on the ship. So they have 65,000 different sensors that are feeding data in to our technology, the control system, the brains of the ship, all in real time. And they wanted to be able to run real-time analytics on that data in a bespoke way, in a custom way. And they wanted to build applications using that data and using a lot of other data, the blueprints for the ship and instructions and documentation and so on, to provide features that far surpass what they're able to do with an off-the-shelf SCADA system. So that's what they're doing. I think the proof of the pudding is a quote from the company where they say that our technology, the application that they built with their technology, their partner Aris Nova built with them, has been a competitive differentiator for them. So if you think about it, these massive commercial and military ships that cost over $1 billion, and unfortunately our technology was not $1 billion. I wish it was, but it's not. So in relative terms, it's a much smaller, relatively very small piece of the overall product offering. but that technology is a strategic differentiator for them. And in some cases, that's why they're outselling their competitor and getting the deal competitively, right? It's using technology as a strategic weapon, right? So very interesting. Any other industries, financial services, government, retail? Retail. Thank you. If any of these look interesting, let me know. We can talk about it as well. Retail. So we have a customer in France, a company called CFAO. Very big logistics company that recently has also gotten into retail, but they're the back end for retail. So they're all logistics. They've been in business since 1850 or 1860. They do 5 billion euro in revenue. And when they first started working with us, their back end, right, the interoperability, integration among all of the disparate systems in their infrastructure and with all of their business partners, right, their suppliers, their distributors, and so on, it was kind of a mess. It was like spaghetti code. And so they had all sorts of problems. One is they didn't have real-time visibility into where things were in the process chain. So there'd be a problem, there'd be a delay, a customer would call saying, where's my order? And they didn't know. It would take them a couple of days to figure it out. That was one problem. Another problem was when they tried to incorporate a new business partner, it would take IT 6 months to properly integrate the systems of the new business partner with the ecosystem, right? So it was like death for them. BizDev would come in, and they'd be all excited. They'd say, you know, we have a new potential partner. And they would think that it would move the needle for them. They'd be able to distribute and sell more products, and it would take 6 months. So those were the two key problems that they started to work with us to fix. And they had actually 2 developers that worked on using our technology for integration in the database and analytics. And within 6 months of implementation work with 2 developers, they had essentially fixed the integration, the glue among all of the systems. So one benefit was they had real-time visibility into where everything was. So if there was a problem or a potential problem, they could look and see exactly where the order was, the status of the shipment, and so on. And they apply predictive analytics to start to look to see in advance when there might be potential problems. So they could either address the problem or alert the partners that would be affected by it in advance to try to rectify the problem before it hit the customer. So that was one. The second was they cut their time to implement the integration work to bring in a new business partner from 6 months to 2 days. Right? It was unbelievable. From a business impact standpoint, it meant that business development could bring a new partner in, and you know, without a lot of delay, without a lot of risk, they could incorporate that new product or that new partner and see if it helped the business. If it generated more revenue, if the products were interesting, right? So from a business agility standpoint, it was a game changer. It allowed them to be far more agile by eliminating the delays. And then because of all of the capabilities that are in the platform, these 2 developers began to innovate to implement more services, right? So they implemented a financial application. They deal with, I think, 40 different countries. So each country has their own currency, and then they had currency reporting issues that they were doing semi-manually, so they automated all of that. If you're familiar with what we used to call INO, it's natural language processing capabilities. So they took all of their tech doc that they used to have a staff tech help desk, right? So they ran all of that through natural language processing so that they could automate technical support based on the technical documentation. So they were able to turn that into self-service, partner self-service, and employee self-service. So they found all of these new services to be able to innovate to help them move the needle. And to this day, they say it's the most powerful strategic piece of technology in their arsenal. It's still these two guys in IT that are innovating and building out new services with them. So I met with them. We had our global summit last month, and so I met with them there, and they have all these ideas for new services that they want to build. So thank you guys very much. I'm happy to talk through any of these other use cases if you're interested, or we have other presentations. Any questions? Any other industries? I'm sorry? Another logistics use case, for sure. Okay. So, another logistics use case. So, Mediterranean Shipping Company is one of our customers. They're the second largest container shipping company in the world. So, right now, there are 12 million containers that they're moving around the world. So if a week from now you go on Amazon and you order something, there's a really good chance that right now it's in one of these container ships being shipped somewhere around the world. So they have used our technology, again, with smart sensors. And you can think of it like Lyft or Uber on steroids for a B2B application. So they now know at any point in time where every container is around the world. And things happen. So there's weather events, there are problems at shipping, ports and docks, there's strikes, there's problems there, they're closed. So shipments have to be rerouted in real time. Each one of these containers has a massive documentation trail, and it's changing over time as locations change, status change. There's certificates of origin, delivery, bills of materials, bills of lading, and so on with signatures. So there's a huge paper trail, documentation trail, signatory trail. So all of that needs to be tracked. And that's exactly what they do. And again, it's real-time signals streaming in. And if you saw the navigation app that Helena and Enzo presented, similar to that, and there's a dashboard, a track and trace dashboard, that they know in real time and they can predict problems in advance as well. So it's streamlined their traffic as well as provided real-time visibility for them. In logistics in general, we tend to be very strong because of the need for a lot of interoperability and integration, and the need to not only have business processes that may change, but to be able to incorporate new partners and new systems quickly. So a new partner may have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different enterprise applications that need to be included in the system. And so being able to do that in a very agile and flexible manner is key. Any other questions? Any other industries, financial services, for example? Okay. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your attention.